that even for Verne, science had its limits. In one of his last works, technology failed to save humanity from a catastrophe no one of his time imagined. Meteors. More than a century before Hollywood, the eternal atom posed the ultimate Armageddon scenario. Set in the distant future, its hero is a young archaeologist called the Zartog, a man determined to discover humanity's origins. When research suggests mankind may be far older than believed, the Zartog embarks on a series of digs. He discovers an ancient artifact made of an unknown metal alloy. Inside, scrolls in a long-lost language, French. It's a letter from the last survivors of an ancient civilization, wiped out by a sudden cataclysm. Our civilization. The Zartog also learns that a civilization called Atlantis perished the same way millennia before. The awful truth sinks in. Humanity has not only been destroyed many times, it's fated to be destroyed again. All the Zartog can do is wait for the end, knowing civilization will once more be forced to start over.
One of the notions of the eternal atom is that we have been here before, that we are going round the circle again, which, bearing in mind the Earth is, what, 3.5 billion years old, man's history is 10,000 years since the last ice age. That's an infinitesimal speck of the Earth's history. And so this notion that this could all have happened before, that is not a totally unreasonable notion at all.
Yet in Verne's day, the notion of meteor impacts was far-fetched. The eternal atom was ignored. Nearly a century later, scientists take the threat of meteors seriously. Despite Verne's doubts, we now trust in science to save us.
The technology is in hand with a little development to deflect an incoming comet or asteroid. The key right now is to find out if this threat is real or something for the future to worry about.
With the dawn of a new century, Jules Verne was eclipsed. Rivals like H.G. Wells emerged to challenge his position as the undisputed master of what were called scientific romances. Yet after a long stretch of declining sales, Verne made a comeback. Published in 1904, Master of the World saw the return of the daring aeronaut Robur. Verne had transformed the inventor of the albatross into a megalomaniac, bent on imposing peace on a divided world with his greatest invention yet, the Terror. It was Jules Verne's ultimate fantasy machine, combining the power of a race car, an airplane, a ship, and a sub. As a weapon, it was the last word in peacekeeping. As a vehicle, it has no rivals, even to this day. In its version of Master of the World, Hollywood strayed from Verne's designs for the Terror. But it faithfully captured the transformation of the idealistic Robur.
I am a man unto myself, Mr. Prudent, who has declared war against war. That is the purpose for which this ship was built.
Once more, Verne proved his genius for foresight. This time, the storm clouds of the 20th century.
You have no choice.
That Robur, by the end, is simply a megalomaniac.
I am Gunston Lehman!
Perhaps Jules Verne is realizing that before him lies a century in which megalomaniacs with powerful machines would do enormous damage to the world. I mean, to that extent, he was right, all too right.
People talk about his worldview darkening toward the end, and I think that it did. I mean, he probably sensed the underlying trend of his society, which was the Holocaust. And World War I was only 12 years away, you know. A guy with his ability, I think, could have smelled that
Like the dictators he prefigured, Robur is finally destroyed by his own ambition. Killed in a freak electrical storm he could have avoided. His creator followed soon after. On the 24th of March, 1905, Jules Verne died peacefully at home. He was 78 years old. Born in the 19th century, Verne reached the threshold of the 20th in time to see many of his prophecies fulfilled. The first electric lights, the first telephone conversations, the first heavier-than-air flying machines, the first automobiles.
So Jules Verne's legacy is that nothing is impossible for us if there is imagination. That's his legacy.
With a genius for foresight and a flair for adventure, Jules Verne produced a towering body of work that still thrills millions. To generations after him, he left an even richer legacy. A blueprint for not only the inventions of our times, but the aspirations of the future. And even today, who can foresee how many of Jules Verne's ideas may yet come to pass?
O professor Darcy Pedro Esviseiro coloca em perspectiva o conceito de tempo, hoje, 3h40 da manhã, no Invenção do Contemporâneo. Evite o engarrafamento no trânsito e a poluição do ar. Sempre que possível, utilize o transporte coletivo.